In the Super Smash Bros. Series, there have been 12 characters that have been playable in every single version of the game starting from Smash 64 going all the way to Ultimate. Those 12 are Mario, Donkey Kong, Link, Samus, Yoshi, Kirby, Fox, Pikachu, Luigi, Ness, Captain Falcon, and Jigglypuff. Most of those characters have at least one Smash game where they are not considered viable competitively. Some of them have multiple. There are two characters that stand out above the rest as being more than competitively viable in just about every Smash game, and they are Pikachu and Fox. In today's video, I'm going to analyze their competitive viability and figure out which character is the greatest of all time across every single Smash game in a competitive setting. So let me tell you how I'm going to approach this. First off, I'm going to be going through each game, give you a highlight about them in that game, and then explain what tier they are or could be. The reason I say could be is that for a number of games, a lot of how good a character is can still be open for interpretation due to tier lists not being widely agreed upon, which I will explain more when we get there. Also, for the sake of not dragging this video out longer than it needs to be, I'm only going to be talking about how good the character is in the latest build of the game for Smash 4 and Ultimate. I'm going to be labeling what tier they are using the lettering system that most tier lists use. So S is the highest, then A after that, then B, and finally C. Alright, now that we have that out of the way, let's talk about Smash 64. In Smash 64, Pikachu is the best character in the game and is S tier. Pikachu in 64 is at his peak competitively since it's the only game he's widely considered to be the best in any competitive Smash game. Pikachu excels in just about everything in the game. He has great combos, is great at edge guarding, great kill power, has very disjointed hitboxes thanks to his tail not being a hurtbox, has a top 2 airspeed, a top 3 ground speed, and the best recovery in the game, which could also be used as a frame 1 escape option thanks to his quick attack. In Smash 64, there's no air dodging, so having an option like this is huge, especially considering Pikachu has the option to mix up where he will go, and during the first 20 frames of quick attack, he's intangible. Additionally, Pikachu has a great option to take stocks off the top with Thunder if his initial combo does not kill. He's basically the best or one of the best at just about everything in that game. Fox in 64 is considered to be an A or B tier character. Excluding customs in Smash 4, this is the only game where his lasers make the opponent flinch. Due to how fast it is, how far the attack travels, and his ability to auto-cancel, Laser is easily the best projectile in the entire game. His shine is frame 1, and if you're familiar with Melee, he has the ability to jump cancel the move as well, except it's a little different to how he does it in that game. Fox is a really strong character on stage due to his previously mentioned projectile, amazing mobility, and frame data. Unsurprisingly, Fox has one of the best ground speeds and fall speeds in the game like he historically does. But in 64, he also has crazy good airspeed too. He has the third fastest in the entire game, which is by far the best his airspeed has ever been and probably will be in Smash. What puts him in a lower tier is his exploitable recovery. There's no hitbox on the startup of his Firefox until he moves, which takes a pretty long time compared to the other characters, and it doesn't go a very long distance. It's basically Falco's Firebird in Melee. Due to there being no side specials in 64, Fox doesn't have his illusion, so he really doesn't have many mix-ups on his recovery. Even with his incredible on-stage capabilities, his recovery is the main thing holding him back from being at or close to Pikachu's level. In Melee, the roles have reversed and Fox is now the best character in the game. They kept most of his strengths in 64 and gave him some massive improvements, most notably his recovery. His Firefox goes farther than it did before, and there's now a hitbox on startup before he moves. The addition of side specials gave him his Fox Illusion, which is another great recovery option he has, and he can change the distance he goes, giving him another layer of mix-ups to his recovery. The addition of air dodging gave birth to a new movement technique called wave dashing, which Fox benefited from heavily. He's now able to use his shine much more effectively since he could jump out of it, and wave dashing allows him to get much more follow-ups than he would otherwise. It's probably the best move in the entire game given it's still a frame 1 attack like in 64, can be comboed into kill moves, is a great edge guarding tool, great out of shield option, reversal tool, can help with recovery mix-ups, one of the best pressuring tools in the game, and it can still reflect projectiles. He has really strong options out of the corner thanks to his invincible ledge dash, which is basically a technique where you grab ledge, immediately get off the ledge, and wave dash on stage as fast as possible. Thanks to how ledge intangibility works, you're able to get on stage and not get hit for a certain number of frames. Fox is the best character at this technique, allowing him to go on stage and while being able to move can be intangible for 16 frames if done perfectly. Though Fox is the best, he is the most technically demanding top tier in Smash's history. Pikachu coming from 64 got some massive nerfs and dropped all the way to being a B tier character. His quick attack no longer has intangibility on startup, which means he has lost his best option to escape follow-ups and non-frame perfect combos. The move also has more end lag and doesn't travel as far, making it a worse recovery overall. That being said, quick attack is still arguably the best recovery in the game, and thanks to them putting a hitbox on the move, can be used as an offensive option. Another massive nerf Pikachu got coming from 64 is his airspeed. Pikachu went from having the second fastest airspeed in the game to having a below average one. I think this nerf single-handedly knocked Pikachu out of the top tier spot. They made part of his tail a hurt box, making him easier to hit and causing his attacks where he uses his tail to be less disjointed. This makes it easier for opponents to challenge his attacks and either trade or flat out beat what he does. Even with the nerfs, Pikachu is still a really good character. He's still one of the best characters at going deep off stage and edge guarding the opponent. Thanks to the addition of up and down throws, Pikachu now has really strong combo throws he can do, especially on fast followers. They also buffed his up smash, giving him the strongest one in the entire game. The addition of side specials gave Pikachu Skull Bash, which is an option he could use to help his already great recovery. Like Pikachu coming from 64 to Melee, Fox would receive some massive nerfs coming from Melee to Brawl. A lot of Fox's nerfs were due to the massive game mechanic changes that Brawl went through. Directional air dodges were removed, getting rid of wave dashes, which was a move and option Fox benefited greatly from. The removal of L cancelling also hurt him and greatly weakened his ability to pressure shields like he did in the previous iteration. Additionally, Fox's Shine got nerfed, becoming a frame 3 attack instead of frame 1, and losing the ability to jump out of it like he could in Melee. This further weakened his pressuring and combo capabilities. On top of the lack of combos Fox had relative to Melee, being a fast faller made him susceptible to a lot of high damaging chain grabs and attack loops while not being able to dish out the same to his opponents. Fortunately for Fox, he still had his speed making him great at playing keep away, combined with gaining the ability to short out triple laser and auto cancel it. Though his Firefox got nerfed due to not traveling the same distance and having more end lag, his Fox Illusion got buffed, allowing him to travel a further distance by cancelling it, along with still having his shortens. His forward air got changed, allowing it to help him recover and mix up jumping and landing options. Though his Reflector was overall nerfed, it did get some buffs, having significantly less end lag, allowing him to mix up his landings and recoveries more effectively by using it. Fox still had great kill power, amazing frame data on his attacks, and he got a slight buff to his weight. He's one of the few characters that had a really good matchup against Meta Knight, the best character in the game. Fox is a tricky one in Brawl because the opinion of the character is so largely disputed. Fox was put as high as A tier in some tier lists and as low as C. The reason for his lower placements is because of how bad some of his losing matchups are. He has a couple that are considered borderline unwinnable, which are Pikachu and Ice Climbers, and people don't think he should be higher even if he has great matchups against most other characters due to how easily he could be countered. Pikachu, while not as good as he was in 64, is still a slight step above his Melee counterpart. He gained the ability to crawl, wall jump, and got a slight buff to his airspeed. He was also tied for having the best spot dodge in the game frame data wise. If you didn't know, spot dodging in Brawl was incredibly good. Pikachu could spam spot dodge and you would only have a 3 frame window to hit him in between the end lag of his first spot dodge and the startup of his second. Pikachu now had the ability to quick attack cancel, which allowed him to cancel the end lag of his quick attack by doing it into the ground. This gave him the ability to quick attack and immediately do his aerials or even do another quick attack. Though Brawl had less combos than the previous games, Pikachu still had the ability to chain grab characters, including Fox, where you could do a 0 to death combo on him. He also has some very strong kill setups, such as hitting his opponent into the air and setting him up for Thunder, which was active enough to beat air dodges. Another setup Pikachu had was hitting the opponent into the air, comboing them into a footstool, which is untechable, and then jab blocking the opponent with quick attack and getting a guaranteed follow-up out of it. Pikachu's Skull Bash travels farther and charges faster than it did in Melee, improving his recovery. Another use for Skull Bash was for momentum cancelling, which allowed him to survive noticeably longer than he would otherwise. Momentum cancelling in Brawl is the ability to do an aerial to cancel your hit stun, and then input a fast fall to reduce your momentum and prevent you from being launched as far as you normally would. Some characters like Pikachu can input an additional option that would reduce their momentum even further. Due to Pikachu's buff recovery, and despite most characters getting their recoveries buffed from Melee, Pikachu still had very effective edge guarding. Also, for some reason, Pikachu could get off the ledge noticeably faster than any other character in the game. This helped him avoid corner pressure and could allow him to set up for edge guard situations better. Pikachu in Brawl was considered to be an A or B tier character. The reason for that came down to Pikachu having more losing matchups than the other top tiers, but winning other matchups harder due to his chain grabbing. Fox in Smash 4 got some pretty massive buffs coming from Brawl. The first one is that the game's mechanics benefited him a lot more than Brawl's. The new ledge mechanic removed edge hogging, which means Fox does not get edge guarded as easily as he normally would, and also makes ledge trapping more important, which is something Fox excels in. The new two-framing mechanic was also something Fox was very good at due to having an up tilt that hit below the ledge and being able to combo out of it. The removal of chain grabbing means he doesn't suffer as much from characters getting easy to do combos off of grab on him, which resulted in most of his difficult matchups in the previous game. There's more hit stun in Smash 4 compared to Brawl, and the way that air dodging works allows Fox to get a lot of high damaging combos, vortexes, and 50-50 setups that can lead into kills. And finally, Rage gave Fox significantly earlier kill options while still allowing him to do the high damaging combos he could without it. In addition to the game mechanics benefiting him, he got some changes that also worked greatly in his favor. Fox Illusion got a lot of buffs despite them removing his ability to cancel it. It has less startup, less end lag, doesn't have a hitbox on roughly the first 1/4 of the move while moving, and Fox doesn't go into freefall anymore after doing it, giving him more recovery and landing mix-ups. Fox's jab 2 could be comboed out of and was a great kill confirm since it comboed an up smash. His forward air is the best it's ever been, allowing him to get a death combo on the opponent at any percent with forward air drag down in the footstool. It could also still be used to help him recover. He did get some slight nerfs, most notably his up smash being weaker and having noticeably more end lag on it. His shine was also nerfed even more. It has more startup and end lag, making it a worse option offensively, as well as mixing up recoveries and stalling landings. Overall, the improvements Fox got made him incredibly strong and easily an A tier at worst. Like Brawl Pikachu, Smash 4 Pikachu had varying opinions of how good he was. He was considered as high as an A tier and as low as a B tier. Pikachu did get a major nerf coming from Brawl to Smash 4, and it was that chain grabbing was removed, which got rid of one of his best ways of racking up damage. Quick attack canceling on flat stationary surfaces was no longer a thing, which made his approaching options overall worse. They also removed his ability to drop from the ledge faster than everyone else in one of the patch updates. The game mechanics did give Pikachu some benefits though. Since Smash DI was significantly weaker, it was much harder to get out of Pikachu's multi-hitting attacks. This meant forward air, back air, and down smash also worked a lot more reliably. Regardless of being unable to chain grab opponents, he was still able to combo out of his grab. Utilizing his up throw and sometimes down throw with Thunder gave Pikachu a really strong kill confirm that he can combo into at higher percents. The hit stun change did give Pikachu more consistent ways to combo into Thunder, or at least get 50-50 setups into it. Thunder also received a buff allowing him to spike with the Thundercloud area of the hitbox, which could combo to its sweet spot. Even if it doesn't connect into the sweet spot, the spike itself is strong enough to take stocks if the opponent's off stage. Though the ledge mechanics was changed, Pikachu was still a very strong character off stage, and was still one of the best edge guarders in the game. This is due to his ability to pressure the opponent with his Thunder Jolts and being able to go super deep off stage and still make it back thanks to his far traveling and fast recovery. Smash Ultimate Fox got some changes, but overall this is by far the least drastic buffs or nerfs he's received transitioning between games. His illusion has more startup, but less end lag, and has more control over the distance he can travel in the air. The attack now stops when he hits a shield, making it more of a high risk, high reward offensive option. Shine can only stall Fox in the air after one use without being hit or touching the ground, but it has less startup and end lag. His up smash no longer has intangibility on his head, but it has slightly more range. Up tilt no longer 2 frames and is a slightly worse combo move, but down tilt is a much better combo tool now. Dash attack has less end lag, making it not only a better combo tool, but a safer option to throw out. Fox also lost his ability to do his fair footstool combo as consistently as he could in 4, but fair drag down is still an option that could take stocks at virtually any percent off stage. Though it seems like Fox got a lot of nerfs, he actually got one massive buff indirectly, and that was how the game's shielding mechanic works. Perfect shielding was replaced by parrying, which is done by timing a shield drop. Fox, in my opinion, is the best character in the entire game at using this mechanic due to his amazing frame data and burst options. The shielding mechanic also buffed him on the offensive end, allowing him to pressure shields better. Overall, Fox is still incredibly strong, and like in Smash 4, it's considered to be at the absolute worst A tier. Smash Ultimate Pikachu got some pretty good buffs coming from 4. His neutral air was changed to a multi-hitting move, which while removing its KO power makes it a much better combo move and allows him to get high damaging combos using it as well as combo into kill moves. His down air now spikes, making Pikachu's already strong edge guarding options even stronger. The nerf to air dodges further strengthens his edge guarding capabilities, allowing him to be more aggressive off stage than he was in the previous game. Pikachu's back air now auto cancels from a short hop, which allows Pikachu to do corner carry combos at low percents, and the landing animation for the move was changed to allow Pikachu to more easily pancake under attacks. Because of body blocking and how a lot of hitboxes were adjusted in Ultimate, it's actually really difficult for some characters to punish a good amount of Pikachu's moves due to hitbox shifting. Dash attack has a lot less end lag and a bit more knockback, making it more safe on shield and on whiff while also making it a stronger kill move. They also buffed up throw, making it a more reliable kill move. Skull Bash has less end lag, more knockback, and is a lot safer on shield. Speaking of shield, the shielding mechanic changes made zoning tools much stronger than they were in the previous Smash games, making Thunder Jolt a better zoning and neutral tool. On top of this, Pikachu has less end lag on the move and the hitbox lasts longer on the ground. The biggest nerf Pikachu got in my opinion is that his forward smash sweet spot is harder to land and he can no longer quick attack cancel at all. Like previous games, Pikachu's spot on the tier list is highly debated. He's put as high as S tier and as low as B tier. This is probably the most interesting one to me because across the Smash games, this is probably the biggest buff he's gotten by far. Alright, now that we've gotten all of the games out of the way, let's talk about who is the GOAT. If we're being optimistic about both characters, then Fox wins, since he's been A in 2 games and S in 3, while Pikachu has been S in 2 games, A in 2, and B in 1. Also, I want to bring this up because I'm probably going to get questions on why I didn't put Pikachu as potentially S in Smash 4. In the beginning patches, people had a much higher opinion of Pikachu and would argue him being an S tier. But in later updates, the opinion of him wasn't as high, and like I said, I'm only focusing on the latest builds for games. If we're being pessimistic in my opinion, it would be more debatable. Pikachu would be S in 1 and B in the rest, while Fox would be S in 1, A in 2, B in 1, and C in 1. You could argue it goes to Pikachu because he didn't dip below C, or you could say it goes to Fox because he has more highs. In my personal opinion though, I'd put Fox in B in 64, S in Melee, B in Brawl, A in Smash 4, and S in Ultimate. Pikachu I'd put S in 64, B in Melee, A in Brawl, B in Smash 4, and S in Ultimate. So both characters will be S in 2 games, A in 1 game, and B in 2 games. Even if that's the case, I'd still give the title of GOAT to Fox considering he's been better in games that have a larger number of characters, which I think is more impressive. With all of that said, I still think this is a highly debatable topic and can be easily swayed depending on how good you think they were in a particular game. That is it for the video though, so let me know in the comments what character you think is the GOAT of competitive Smash, and also please drop a like if you enjoy the content. I'm definitely considering doing more videos like this, so if this is something you would like to see, let me know. Also, subscribe. But thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.